Right. Hello, and thank you for coming to today's Shitty Attitude class. This is brought to you by my personal shitty attitude and perhaps yours as well. And you are here to hopefully undo that a little bit. So we want to think first about kind of just getting it out of the system a little bit. So if you are seated, go ahead and stand up. We're going to start by just moving a little bit. And so we tend to think of this as kind of like silly stuff, but it does matter when we just kind of have to get some of that feeling out of our body to begin with to settle down. So to start with here, let's just go ahead and you can shake out your legs a little bit. If you want to place the shoelace part of your foot on the floor, the heel on the floor, you can do that. Thinking about just kind of like shaking out anything that you're holding on to, any tension, any more bad attitude, any resistance to changing how you're feeling. And so taking a moment to just start with your lower body, the feet, the legs. I like to press into the shoelace part of my foot. That always feels really good. Kind of roll around the ankle there. And then as you feel complete with the lower body, you can go ahead and just start to shake out the upper half of your body. I like to think about expelling any negative energy that I'm carrying out through my fingertips and like literally just shaking that attitude out. And so once you feel like your arms have been shaken pretty good, you can let your arms relax down beside you, and we'll just take a few rolls of the shoulders. So notice if there's any tension in the upper back, any tension across the chest. I know that my bad attitude tends to come with a lot of tension. Usually my body is giving me some feedback that, yeah, I'm not feeling good physically or mentally. So go both ways with the shoulders. You can do one at a time, just kind of moving freely, exploring what feels good for you, giving your body a moment to tell you what it's needing rather than maybe dictating to your body what it needs. And as you start to feel a little more loosened through the shoulders, we'll go ahead and relax our hands back down beside us. And we're just going to take a moment here to release the neck. And so keeping your arms nice and loose, stand tall from the bottom of the feet all the way through the crown of your head. And we're just going to slowly tip our right ear over towards our right shoulder, lengthening through the left side of the neck. Taking a few breaths here into the left side of the neck. Let your shoulders be really heavy down away from your ears. Let your arms be like weights. Maybe close your eyes. Take just a couple more breaths into the side of your neck. And so now let's take our right hand below our right cheek and inhale and just gently press our head back to center. We won't make it do any work. Releasing the right arm down, stand nice and tall again, inhaling up through the crown of your head. And then use your exhale to gently turn the left ear down towards the left shoulder, lengthening through the right side of the neck. Maybe noticing there may be more tension in one side or the other. Noticing if you're keeping your teeth clenched, see if you can relax the space between your teeth, maybe swallow here. Again, the arms stay really heavy. Let's take one more round of breath. And now your left hand can come under your left cheek, and we'll inhale and just gently press our head back to center. And so releasing your arms again here, we're going to go through a few quarter sun salutations here to get our mind a little bit more flexible with our body. And so standing in your mountain pose, keeping your feet underneath your hips, let's press down through the feet as we inhale and extend our arms out, reaching up. And then we'll exhale and we're going to bend at the knees as we fold at the hips, slowly coming down towards the front of your mat. You can take your feet wider if you need a little bit more space, especially if you've got anything causing pain in the pelvis area, let your feet widen. And then just go ahead and roll a little side to side through the head. You can sway side to side through your legs. Let your arms be loose and heavy. And if the floor feels too far away, use your blocks to bring it closer. just swaying, thinking about letting anything that you're holding on to kind of dump off of your back, letting it fall into the floor beneath your feet. Wherever you are, let's use our next inhale to lift up halfway, placing your hands on your shins or on the floor if your flexibility allows, or on your blocks. And we'll draw the crown of our head away from our hips, lifting up halfway. And then with your next exhale, let's go ahead and fold again, releasing our head. Release your arms. And this time we're going to just slowly roll up. So you can kind of think of Michael Jackson Thriller style, like where the zombie's coming up out of the graveyard. We want to inhale and just slowly roll one vertebrae at a time, keeping the knees bent, keeping chin tucked in towards chest, taking your time to slowly come up back to a standing position. We're going to do that a couple more times. So pressing down into your feet. Inhale, make yourself as long as you can. Reach from tip to tip, lengthen through your skin. And then we'll exhale, bend your knees, fold forward from your hips. Coming down into your fold, you can find the blocks, the floor, or your own legs. And then sway a little bit here. Let yourself be loose and relaxed, making sure that you're releasing any tension through the back of your neck. Maybe swallow a couple times here and check that you're also releasing tension through your jaw. And keep your eyes open or closed, whatever you feel comfortable with. And then once again, we'll use our next inhale to slowly rise up halfway. Find some length through the back of your legs, through the spine, in your arms, reaching forward, reaching towards the better attitude that we hope to inhabit after this practice. With your next exhale, let's come back down, finding our fold just momentarily once more, leaning a little more weight towards our toes, starting to straighten up a little more through the backs of the legs. And then this time we'll inhale and we'll reverse swan dive slowly, reaching the arms out, unfolding from the hips, keeping the knees soft, chin tucked in towards chest, arms can come all the way up. And then we'll exhale, taking our hands to our heart center. And we'll do that once more. So standing nice and tall, adjust your feet if you need to. One more quarter sun salutation here. So pressing into the bottoms of the feet, inhale, extend out, reach up, make yourself really, really long here. Maybe leaning back a little bit, open your heart. And then with your exhale, we'll slowly swan dive forward, reaching through the heart, letting the arms come down heavy beside you. Find some space in the back of your legs. Maybe bending one knee deeply and extending the opposite leg a little straighter. Again, exploring movement here, noticing what your body may be asking for. Sometimes there's a reason for our shitty attitude. Sometimes it's because our body needs something that we're ignoring. And so take a moment to get acquainted, whatever movements you may enjoy. Go ahead and give those to yourself, swaying, rocking. Breathing deeply. And when you're ready, our next inhale is going to lift us up halfway. Lean towards your toes a little bit here. Draw the crown of your head and your heart forward. Straighten the back of your legs and think about pulling up through the space in between your hips. With your exhale, we'll soften once again, finding this last forward fold. Release any tension in the upper back and neck. And then we'll inhale, reverse swan dive, arms reach out, legs are bent, slowly rising up, collecting everything up overhead. And then we'll exhale and we'll slowly take our hands to a prayer position in front of our heart. And so taking just a moment here to pause, considering what we've done so far in our practice and what effect it may have had on our mindset. Allowing your breath to become a little slower and a little deeper. Allow your next exhale to slowly release your hands and you can open your eyes. We'll take our right hand to our right hip here. bending the right knee softly. Inhale and extend the left arm out and reach it up towards the ceiling. And then exhale and lean towards the right, lengthening through the left side of your body, maybe looking up underneath the left arm, stretching through your side waist, opening up your rib cage. Let's take another breath in. With your exhale, maybe go just a little deeper. Inhale, press into your right leg, straighten back up. And we'll exhale, slowly lowering the left hand down to our left hip. Bend the left knee now, release your right arm down. Inhale, right arm sweeps out and up. And then we'll exhale, leaning over towards the left, opening up the right side body here, looking underneath the right arm if that feels okay. Pulling our ribs away from our hips, moving the spine in lateral flexion. One more big breath. Inhale, straighten into the left leg, slowly come back up to center. And then we'll exhale and we'll release our right hand to our right hip. Now from here, we're going to come to a seated position. And so if you want to sit in a chair or against a wall or with a bunch of props, it would be totally correct here to sit as high as your hips need in order to feel supported in your position. We don't want to sit in a way that's going to cause more agitation. We ideally want to be as comfortable as possible. So if you are sitting higher or you're noticing that your knees are higher than your hips, you can use your blocks to support them, give them something to rest in. And it's also a great idea to sit against the wall. The wall is your friend. Let it support you in your seated meditation practice. And so for our first little meditation here, we are going to work with a mudra called Hridaya Mudra. That's Hridaya, Hridaya, difficult to say. And this is a gesture for helping us to tune in and feel emotionally safe. It's very easy to make. We're going to take our right hand and cupping it just slightly, we'll place our right hand over our heart. We'll then take the left hand and gently cup it over the right hand. This is a favorite mudra of mine, so you may have already practiced this with me before. And so as we come into this position, close your eyes. And the first thing we want to think about is just scanning our awareness through our body. As I mentioned earlier, sometimes our attitude comes from a nervous system response. It may be that our body is telling us something is wrong. And so our mind responds with irritability, anger, discomfort, and a shitty attitude erupts. So when we may be noticing that, there are occasions where it may be that our nervous system is overactive, telling us that we need to calm down, and our attitude manifests as a result. So in this position, let's take a moment to scan our awareness through the body and notice what comes up. What sort of signals may your body be sending you? What kind of information is present there to be heard and understood? As you breathe into this body scan, notice if there's areas of tightness or tension. Notice if the tongue is pressed into the roof of your mouth, maybe swallowing and finding some space in the mouth, and continuing that action around your face, allowing your eyebrows to release away from one another, allowing your gaze to soften, either closing your eyes or relaxing your gaze down towards the floor. Scanning your body and manually releasing any tension that you may discover. As we continue to breathe into Hridaya Mudra, notice if there's a sense of softening around the chest, feeling a little bit more of a tension release through the upper back and neck. Maybe allowing some compassion to unfold. Noting that your shitty attitude may actually just be a signal that you need a time out, or you need some more attention, perhaps to an area of the body or to an area of your life. Take a moment now to complete your body scan, making note of anything that you would like to recall afterward, any information that you want to take with you after this practice. Now with your next exhalation, let's slowly release our hands down into our lap. You can tuck your chin down towards your chest and maybe allow your eyes to open so that you're looking at your hands. Take a moment to observe how you're feeling and notice if anything has shifted in this time. Feeling grateful for the time that we made just simply to notice our attitude, to make some time and space to see if we can adjust it. Right, with your next inhale, you can go ahead and lift your gaze, taking your chin back parallel to the floor. From here, you can alter your feet, maybe taking the opposite foot in front if that feels comfortable. If you need to rearrange your seat in any way, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to grab a little bit of a drink, you can do that. That's mostly for me. So we've got one more brief meditation. This will be super, super short. This is for improving our clarity, helping us to feel more focused after we are done with this practice so we can resolve how we're feeling with some more purpose, feeling like we have a journey toward our vision. And so for this practice, we're going to make our hands into two fists with the thumbs on the outside, and we'll bring the palms of the hands together. So I'll come close for this one. So we bring the fists together, thumbs stay on top, and then we're going to extend the index finger and keep the thumb connected, the sides of the thumbs connected. So it ends up looking kind of like a little shell with our thumbs on top. This is Abhisheka Mudra, and this is to improve our one-pointed concentration, our clarity, our sense of purpose. And so as you find this gesture, let your hands rest slightly below your navel with your elbows soft, the crown of your head leading up towards the ceiling. And during this time, go ahead and start to connect to a sankalpa, or an intention, your mantra. This is a word or a phrase that we want to take from this practice into the rest of our day to help mitigate our attitude, to keep us focused on our purpose. I personally always recommend a sankalpa that begins with an I am statement. For example, I am focused. You can be as detailed and specific as you like, but make sure that it's something that you can easily repeat to yourself. As your intention comes to mind, see the words in your mind's eye. Breathe into the words. allowing your intention to flow through you visually and energetically. Allow your breath to be slow and even, maybe matching the length of your inhale with the length of your exhale. Or if it feels comfortable for you, make your exhale about twice the length of your inhale, being sure to empty out any residual shitty attitude that you can. Let's take 5 more full rounds of breath. Continuing to repeat your intention in your mind. With your 5th exhale, you can slowly release your hands down into your lap once more, lowering chin to chest, maybe allowing your eyes to slowly blink open if that's comfortable, or staying just a moment longer in that space with your eyes closed if you prefer. Notice what may have changed or shifted for you from the beginning of your practice until now. Observe how much power movement and breathing and focus can have, even when we're not feeling our best. Joining our hands together in prayer position in front of our heart, feeling grateful for this time that we made to be with ourselves, to attempt to understand our attitude, to adjust it, and to allow ourselves to be compassionate with ourselves throughout. Touching our thumbs to our forehead, reminding us to live with an open mind. And joining our thumbs at our heart, reminding us to love with an open heart. It's been my honor to guide you through your practice. We can acknowledge one another with namaste. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you feel less shitty. I know I do. So I think that's a win, right?